One professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good. Wow. Excuse me. Holy buckets. Good morning, Las Vegas. How are we doing today? Yikes. My voice is a little raspy, I think. Jeez. I'm doing that Vegas Toy Con thing and I'm hurting a little bit. Man, needed to gargle or something. I don't know. Let me get Reuben Bresler in here because I had Jiminy Christmas.
That was a lot, buddy.
That was
you all right?
You know what
Hi,
I mean?
everybody. Good morning. Welcome. It is morning, so we're all getting. We had a late night last night. We had lots of screaming and excitement. So
yes, we did. You know what I think I need to do?
Hmm.
I think I need to have my bottle of Prime.
Hey, there you go.
You know,
You'll be ready for the center of the ring once you have your Prime. What?
Have a little sip of that.
Sponsor us, Prime. What is Prime? I don't know what it is. Is it an
this
energy
is the
drink?
hydration drink.
Oh, okay.
In case you didn't know it, the Prime Hydration Station.
So it's like an electrolyte beverage,
Yeah, it's a little
Okay.
sweeter. It's got a little sweet and tart.
Okay.
You know,
Cool.
it's good stuff. It's like crack to me.
I went to Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, where one Mr. Logan and one Mr. Jake Paul went to college. And they went 2 or 3 years before me. I have heard nothing but horror stories about their time on campus. So
What a shock.
not the biggest supporter of Prime energy drink, but if it's a good product, more power to them.
Yeah, I have had the energy drink too. The energy drink's actually pretty solid as well. So yeah, I recommend. I do enjoy it.
There you go.
If you want to, you want to get your Gatorade, it's a little more mellow, obviously, but this has got a little more flavor to it, and 25 calories. That's
And
it.
you're not going to be in the center of the WrestleMania ring.
No,
With Gatorade, so
yeah, absolutely. So there you go, WrestleMania. Oh boy, we are through night one, and that's not the only thing that's happened this week in pro wrestling. We're going to try and get to it all, but before we do, I just want to remind everybody: day 3 of the Vegas Toy Con is going on. I have been, like Miz got to host, or the New Day got to host. I have been the on-stage host for the Vegas Toy Con.
very nice.
And coming up today, it's the main event. Sting is going to be there today.
I love it.
So get on over there today. Plus, we lost Mick Foley, but guess who's going to be there today? Last minute edition. The former Dolph Ziggler. Nick Nemeth is going to be there.
Nice.
So TNA.
I love Dolph Ziggler. He's great.
Yeah, he is. And of course, Reuben, you do stand-up comedy, as does Nick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That fits. That feels like something he'd be good at. I mean, stand-up is a lot like promo work. You've got to have the organization. You've got to have the knowledge. There's some amount of crowd work. Yeah, that fits.
Yeah. So Nick was added just last night in the middle of the show. So come on over. We'd love to see you. I'll be up on stage. And I got to meet Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger.
Very nice. A lot of people's first crush, my age at least.
Yeah, there you go. She was there, and I got to meet. Let's see, it was. I'm still learning. I'm still learning some of the anime gang, so bear with me. Tia Ballard and Dawn Bennett, who do they've done a ton of anime stuff. They're voice actresses. 2 very nice things, and they both thought I had soft hands.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but okay.
Yeah,
but yeah, so great time over there, and it's going to be jam packed. So get over there if you haven't got your tickets yet. Get a 1-day pass and come join us. We would love to see you. great activities as well. And obviously toys, and more toys.
Amazing.
So please,
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, please join us over there at the World Market Expo today, starting at 10 o'clock. All right, so now I got that out of the way. WrestleMania. And Reuben, I hit almost every match. I'm proud of myself.
Nice.
I think
the big top line overview for me was there wasn't a dud. There wasn't a this isn't worth my time. There wasn't a this should be shorter match for me. I think that every match delivered. I think that there were some that were better than others, and some of them that are like, I wish that this was better for WrestleMania. But every match was good. Every match was worth my time. Had interesting things going on, was fun, and, pretty great night one, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say it wasn't as good as night one last year, but was definitely solid. And it was funny. I was reading Doc Mueller's review on Bleacher Report, and he was probably a little more critical of it than I would have been, just at a couple points. So, we'll run through it as we go through the show, and of course, get ready for night two. And just for fun, our buddy CM Punk decided to steal all the spotlight this week too. That has now resulted in what could be one of the more interesting episodes of Dynamite ever coming up next week.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that.
I guess that's probably worth covering in chronological order of this week had a lot of weird wrestling stuff happen. The CM Punk interview, obviously the Hall of Fame occurred this week as well, or last week as well. Had some fun stuff happen there. And then, culminating with we're in the middle of the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah, so fascinating week. But yeah, I want to hit what happened yesterday first, and break this down and get your thoughts. And obviously I'll throw mine in too. But I do want to mention real quick though, there is a new Ring of Honor World Champion, as Mark Briscoe has carried on the legacy of his brother Jay and is the new Ring of Honor champion, taking that off Eddie Kingston on Friday night. So congratulations to Mark.
Very cool.
As he is the new Ring of Honor World Champion. So way to go, Mark. Congrats, as he's finally got some gold around his waist, and well-deserved.
That's his first reign ever
as the world champ. Yeah.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. So of course I was a huge Briscoes fan. I was thinking about Ring of Honor as I was hearing Triple H trash AEW all week long, and was just thinking, how much I was watching Ring of Honor when I was getting bored with WWE for a while. But anyway, we won't get into that.
Somebody sent me a link to a Ring of Honor gear set because they know that I'm a huge nerd. And let me see if I can find it here. Who is this? This is Athena Palmer dressed up as Karlach from Baldur's Gate.
Oh, God.
Which is great. I love that. Came out as a red tiefling, which is amazing.
A red tiefling?
A demon person.
Why are you not at this Toy Con, Reuben? You should have come up this week.
I'm a huge nerd, and you know this.
I do know this.
Here we are.
Oh, man. You would have fit right in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So kicking things off, we had Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, and stole the show, despite apparently Becky was super sick this week.
Yeah, I heard that she was under the weather. This was a good match. This was a good, solid, amazing first match, honestly. Pretty long opening match. And for being, you couldn't tell that if Becky was sick during the match. Rhea's intro was the best. Like, whenever you get the band that does your song, then that's the best intro. That's the best intro you have. And opening the show with that was great. So big fan. I'm happy that Rhea won. I said this last week. I've said it a few times. I'm a little bored with Rhea's reign. So this was a nice addition. This was not boring. This was a great match. They're both technically super sound. They're both powerhouses of the game. Rhea establishing herself as the biggest superstar that isn't one of the 4 horsewomen of the women's side, and it was a great match.
Yeah, and I absolutely love Rhea, and I love Becky too, and that match last night just hard hitting, and if Becky is coming off 102-degree fever, boy, I'd hate to see what would do with those two healthy.
Yeah,
I mean, wow. And Rhea just does it time and time again, and then every time you kind of forget about Becky a little bit, she just reminds you, yeah, there's a reason I'm the best.
Yep.
Just a phenomenal way to kick WrestleMania off. Good decision to put those two at the start of the card. I want more.
Yeah.
This is one of those feuds that I don't know about putting it in like a Rock Cena kind of level, but maybe on the women's side, maybe it is.
Sure.
Maybe this is something that you could run this for a year. You could keep this going till next year's WrestleMania. I don't know what they have planned, because obviously you've got a lot of people, with somebody like a Bianca Belair and so on currently sitting on the sidelines, and would you love to get that NXT rematch from years ago and let those two go at it? Absolutely. But after that, boy, you don't want to throw Becky back down to the bottom of the card.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that this is definitely you can have this be a rivalry that simmers, goes on forever. This can definitely be you can definitely make this more like a Rock Stone Cold kind of thing, where, Rock was a decade younger, and, Rhea's 27 or whatever, and all these other stars in the company are in their mid-30s. So you can definitely milk this for, trying to knock somebody off of the Queen of the Hill, while still building up, like what Triple H does, of building up these young stars, giving them their time in the sun. We've still got so many powerhouses in the women's division. You want to give them all their time to shine. So, but you definitely want to have Becky, as often as she wants to at this point, be able to battle for that top slot.
Yeah. So great way to kick off the night. Of course, we're on the Mark Hoke Show here, and I'm Mark Hoke, along with Reuben Bresler, bringing you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. And just a reminder, we are live streaming the show as well as being here on KDAWN. So if you want to hop on YouTube or Facebook at the Mark Hoke Show, get in there and hop in the chat box and say hi, and give us your thoughts on night 1 of WrestleMania. We'd love to hear from you. The tag match, and Reuben, I nailed it.
Yeah,
I called them both.
You called them both.
I did.
Not the manner in which it occurred, but you did call both winners.
I did call both winners, but I was a little disappointed that they had both the titles on separate racks above the ring. I was that caught me off guard a little bit.
Sure.
Because we were speculating that they were going to split the tag titles. We were hearing that, and they did have the SmackDown titles on one hanger and the Raw titles on another. So fairly early in this match, and this went about 17 minutes. Fairly early in the match, the A-Town Down boys managed to get the SmackDown tag titles, and then Grayson Waller takes a brutal bump on ladders outside the ring. He got embedded.
Yeah.
Embedded, I think, is the only way to say it, as he took a nasty bump on a ladder outside the ring. And then R-Truth gets involved with JD McDonough, who comes in to stop them from winning the Raw titles. But eventually R-Truth ascends the ladder, gets the Raw tag team titles, and Awesome Truth walks out with the Raw tag team titles. Our good buddy R-Truth finally gets a WrestleMania moment. Joy, happiness in the kingdom of Philadelphia. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this was also a banger. I thought that this delivered. I'm not a huge fan of multi-team tag team matches, but this was set up to just be chaos. This was set up to have ladders and tables and all that crazy stuff, which is, R-Truth's favored terrain. That's where he wants to be. And this was a good match. I am not disappointed that A-Town Down Under won. I think that them winning means we aren't going to get solo runs from Grayson Waller or Austin Theory anytime soon. which is fine, I suppose. You know, you want to have, if you want to stay relevant, having a belt around your waist is fine. It was just like minutes ago, though, that we were looking at Austin Theory and Grayson Waller as solo superstars telling their own story at the top of their respective mountains. You know what I mean? Grayson with all the hype. This is obviously his first championship within WWE. And then Austin Theory, who's been a champion by himself before. So, and I also don't like the name A-Town Down Under. It's the most generic. I just don't like that name. But the wrestlers themselves are talented. They're handsome. They're young. They're full of energy. I love what they're doing. And then Awesome Truth, R-Truth, and The Miz, two of the longest working, longest serving. They deliver every time. They're workhorses. We love them both. You know, the R-Truth story and the R-Truth like career arc is the most unique thing in all of professional wrestling. He is, you know, he's been there since I was in college, you know, and I'm a terribly old man now. He's done everything that the business has asked him to do. He's been a goof. He's been a 24/7 champion a million times. You know, all of the things that you've asked R-Truth to do. Giving him a big title, like a tag team title, win at WrestleMania is such a great thank you for a career in which he's delivered nothing but solid performances for, you know, almost 2 decades. And, you know, he's been a legend of the industry for so long. And The Miz, too. I mean, The Miz is amazing. He has won so many titles over his career. So to see him get back up to the top of the mountain is also nice. I worry that what happened the last time the tag titles were split will happen again, where one of the pair of tag titles will become the secondary tag titles. And that they will lose relevance in some way. But both of these winners are super deserving. Both of these winners have the chance to be the one that takes the reins and makes it the more relevant of the 2 tag titles. So I am happy with this result.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, I think, on the Raw side with Miz and R-Truth. What happens now? Because now everybody got their happy moment that they wanted. But
yeah,
where does the future go? Because, you know, R-Truth has played the comedy act, but now how do you take them seriously as a tag team? And for how long do they hold on to the titles?
Right.
You know, is this just going to be something that's going to be a passing, you know, 1 month thing where, you know, they may wrestle a couple matches, it'll be cute, and then everybody's going to get sick of it, and we're going to get a serious team in there. This may be a quick reign for those guys,
right.
But you know, but at least R-Truth got it. Now, as for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, this is going to be fun to see because, you know, Austin got the, I hate to say artificial push with
right.
Vince McMahon by his side, you know, and everybody was kind of like, you know, we love Austin Theory's ability, but, you know, it was kind of a chosen one situation. Now he's going to get a chance to really do some good work with Grayson and get a natural push. And this is going to be a rocket for those 2 guys. I think those 2 are going to really work well together. They've proven it already. And now they're going to get to do it in the ring. And they're just going to be obnoxious as hell as tag team champions. I think there's a good long reign for those 2 coming up. So this is going to be very entertaining. And
sure.
And now we've got to hit a break. And when we come back, we're going to keep rolling it here on WrestleMania weekend as we break down what happened yesterday in Philadelphia for WrestleMania 40. More to come. And oh boy, Mama Rose, probably not a happy camper last night. The Rock didn't get the bloody belt to her, but otherwise, not a good night for Cody and Seth Rollins. Stick around, everybody. More on the Mark Hoke Show when we return here on KDAWN 101.5 FM and streaming on the Odyssey app. We'll be right back.
Surprise, surprise, you are not getting younger, but Don't get surprised with cancer, diabetes, kidney, liver, heart, or thyroid disease. Check your health without a doctor before it's too late. Got pregnancy or UTI symptoms? Find out at labshere.com. Save on healthcare costs by a blood or urine test for only $50. Don't wait for a doctor's visit. Just pay online with a credit card at labshere.com. Check your blood type, cholesterol, thyroid, pregnancy, or urine test at labshere.com. It's easy. We'll show you a map.
With 5 lab locations near you in Las Vegas and Henderson.
We'll email you the lab order and you will get your lab results online in 2 days at labshere.com. You don't need a doctor's visit, no health insurance, and no waiting online.
Tell your friends and family and
order your labs here at labshere.com.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message, sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Celebrate Earth Day at the Springs Preserve, where every day is Earth Day. Bring the whole family for a fun and education-filled day, Saturday, April 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out our conservation-focused exhibits and attractions. Visit with environmental and green industry exhibitors. Participate in eco-friendly crafts and activities, and explore the Springs Preserve, a living example of sustainable design and architecture. Get more info at springspreserve.org.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, let's talk some more wrestling, everybody. Having a great old time here on the Mark Hoke Show. WrestleMania weekend. It's getting crazy. Reuben Bresler's got his dukes up.
That's right. Queensberry rules.
There's no Queensberry rules in pro wrestling.
Wasn't there one guy who, like, that was his shtick recently?
Oh, God, who did that?
The British guy with the mustache? I forget.
Oh, no, it wasn't Aiden English.
I'm a fake wrestling fan.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
I got to think about that. Anyway, back to the show. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Reuben Bresler. And, of course, once again, we are also live streaming on YouTube. So if you would like to hop into that chat, the Mark Hoke Show, just get in there and, fire any questions at us or thoughts you had about the weekend so far, or anything that happened this week, or, Reuben's mustache and beard, it's looking kind of sharp. There we go. All right. We had that big luchador match.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio, Andrade, knock off Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. Pretty wild one, get the Philadelphia Eagles involved.
That one was a chaotic match.
Yeah, pretty crazy there. It was what it was. Nice exhibition for those guys. But I will say there's going to be a trivia question coming out of this. What father has beaten his son twice at WrestleMania? So congratulations to Dominic Mysterio. Papa beat you twice now.
There you go. Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, Ray is a Hall of Famer. Like, that's fine. I think that's a good heel situation. Judgment Day 1 and 2 on the weekend, not great. Sort of 1 and 3 on the weekend, honestly.
Yeah.
you've sort of got the A team and the B team sort of happening. But this was fun. This was a fun match. Get a lot of people involved. I loved it was a super creative addition to bring in Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey in Philadelphia with the luchador masks. I thought that was super creative, super fun.
I want one.
Yeah.
I got to get on WWEshop.com.
For sure. Yeah. That was super, super cool.
Yeah. So fun match there. We had the the brothers showdown. We got families fighting all over the place. Jay beats Jimmy, the only one that I kind of was hoping Jimmy was going to win, but Jay gets the victory on this. More drama than match, which I was a little sad about. And Jay played stupid, Jimmy giving him the apology and then, taking the shot.
Yeah, it was good drama. It was good acting.
Yeah.
I like the story here. I think that it was not surprising. I could have even done with 5 more minutes of this match. This was a little short for my liking, honestly. But also, on the other hand, both of these guys need to advance their rule sets. Like, we're getting a little stale, or move sets, not rule sets. We're getting a little, like, I can only watch so many super kicks. You know what I mean? So we gotta add some moves to the repertoire, I think.
Yeah, and like I said, I think this one was the match that somewhat let me down a little bit.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen a little more intensity out of this, but solid match. Like, it wasn't bad or anything like that. But I was just expecting a little more out of this. And I think it puts Jimmy in kind of a bad spot. And I think that was why I wanted Jimmy to win, because I think if Jimmy would have done something really nasty or crazy to win, maybe some outside interference or something like that, it wouldn't have hurt Jay that much. You could have extended this a little bit more, but now, Jay keeps rolling. What does this do to Jimmy? And that's what I was more worried about, because now Jimmy just looks like the doofus who, dumped his brother and is just a stooge to Roman and the rest of the family. And, he's kind of stuck. So this is, I don't know what's going to happen to Jimmy after this. So we'll see what happens, but Jade beats Jimmy. Then we had the ladies exhibition match with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi taking on Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, the women's tag team champions. No surprise here. This was the Jade Cargill exhibition match. We all knew it was coming. Jade gets the pinfall on this. Jade gets to stand in the middle after the match is over. That had to be weird for Bianca, especially, but Bianca and Naomi maybe is looking at the replacement almost. And
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Much, but sure.
But it, it's Jade's the hot thing.
Sure.
And look, you're looking, Bianca.
There's room for them all. There's room here.
There's
room.
We
don't have to. Yeah.
But when you think about this, Bianca was the superstar athlete, the powerhouse. And now all of a sudden, you've got somebody standing next to you in the ring that you're holding her hand up, who's taller than you, stronger than you. I don't know if she's quite as athletic as Bianca, because Bianca can do some things in the ring that Jade cannot do yet. But boy, that's just got to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was me, I'd be kind of sitting there like, oh boy.
Nah, man.
This, you know what I mean?
I disagree. I think Bianca and Naomi are excited to have Jade. A rising tide raises all ships, right? I think that Damage Control is excited. I think everyone's excited. The more talent, the more relevance you can add to the division, the better for everybody involved. Talent and competition drives everybody when you're at that level. Like, obviously, they want to be the best in the world. Obviously, they want to headline WrestleMania. But when you get people who are talented, you're not, oh, darn, there's another talented person here. Like, you're intimidated, maybe. You're a little fearful, maybe. But that should drive you. That should just make you want to work harder.
It should.
So you use the things that are to your advantage. Bianca is older, more experienced, more technically savvy, whereas you've got Jade, who's new here, very powerful, very big, super charismatic, doesn't have the same skill set. There's room for both. Like, you don't say It's the same with any division. Ultimately, it's like I'm not intimidated by a bigger, stronger, more lean, lower body fat percentage wrestler coming in if I'm the champion or if I'm a former WrestleMania main eventer. So I think that this was great. I think that, well, first of all, Damage Control had an insane entrance also. I love Damage Control's entrance. I think that Damage Control are such pros. Like, they're so good at, taking their lumps, being the bad guys. We all knew what this was going to be going into professional or into WrestleMania. But they put on a good show. This was another one. I could have watched another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this match. This was a short match.
Yeah, it was. That only went about 8 minutes. Quick match. So yeah. So we'll see what the future brings for all of them. But this at some point when Jade is ready to wrestle Bianca, oh man, that when the time comes, that is gonna be incredible. And Naomi's such an incredible athlete too, and I just don't want her to get buried in them.
Well, I still want a shakeup in the women's division where Rhea fights against Jade. I want the big, powerful athletes to fight against each other. I love Becky, but she's a smaller person, right? I think that you want Rhea fighting against Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill. Like that's the division I want. And then you've got Becky fighting against, slightly more like Asuka and Alexa Bliss and
Bailey
Morgan. Right. So like that's it. In a perfect world for me, that is what happens. Is Rhea has to face down Bianca and Jade at some point.
Fair enough. All right. Then we had the Intercontinental Championship match, and I'm going to point out something after this that I can't believe WWE did a massive screw up. But Sami Zayn, after getting the Rocky treatment with Chad Gable and Kevin Owens sending him out, and the wife all upset and hiding the kid and the whole ball of wax, knocks off Gunther. The reign is over, and Sami Zayn is the Intercontinental Champion. And while I think we all knew this was coming, Reuben, was this the right call? Was this the right thing to do?
Interesting. This was an interesting choice because I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think that they were going to give this one to Sami Zayn until I saw the schedule. The fact that they put this one second to last as opposed to one of the openers, I was like, oh, the belt's changing hands as soon as I saw the schedule. They want to give Gunther, or whatever they end up calling him, but it's Gunther. They want to give Gunther a big belt run, I think, is what this signals. You have to take the Intercontinental away so that he can go after one of the big belts. So that's what's going to come in 2025 or at the end of 2024. This was a good match. This was a really exciting, fun match. Sami Zayn pulling out a move, the Brain Buster, that he hasn't pulled out since he was El Generico.
Yeah.
Like forever ago. Really fun, good physical acting. Gunther is such a good heel, talking to the wife at ringside, talking to jawing at ringside
multiple times.
Really great in-ring storytelling from both of these guys. Excellent match. Was it the right choice? I like Sami Zayn. He does so much work for the company. Speaking of this was a really creative intro, honestly. Him walking up to the ring alone, running into KO backstage, the chat with Chad Gable, all of that was super interesting. Really fun storytelling. I think this was probably a fine decision. It had to be somebody who took the belt. I'm happy for it to be Sami. I get your point of, was it correct to give it to Sami? Because I think that wrestling lifers are huge fans of Sami. But if you're a casual observer, that's not a value judgment. They're just somebody who you're a twice a year wrestling fan. probably doesn't care as much about Sammy, but he's such a big international powerhouse. Like, he brings in so much from like outside the United States, and he's such a talent and such a charismatic, nice dude. Great representative for the company. I think that it's a really good moment in his career.
Yeah, I there's just part of me that thinks they should have kept going with Gunther, but obviously they've got some plans. That was, I said last week, if they're planning to put him in the world title picture, obviously now's the time.
Got to drop it at WrestleMania. Yeah.
But I got to tell you something. They should have done this on day 2, and there's a reason why. And I
know what you're gonna say,
and I cannot believe that WWE did this. If you didn't catch this on the commentary, Gunther's reign ends at 666 days.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's connotations to that.
Sure.
And as public relations conscious as WWE is, that is going to be ensconced in their record books for a very, very long time. And they're going to have to say the longest reign of their Intercontinental Championship is 666 days.
Yep.
Plus, you have now saddled Gunther with that for the rest of his life.
Uh-huh.
That's not good.
I mean,
that's good.
What are you doing, man? What are we doing here?
I'm just saying.
What's your zodiac sign?
Champion. I don't want to be the Satan champion.
Do you ever not go to the 13th floor? Do you like skip over cracks in the sidewalk so that you don't break your mother's back? What are we doing here?
Do you want every time Gunther comes to the ring, the crowd's going to be chanting 666, 666?
If I am a heel like Gunther, I love that. If I'm trying to build my brand as a bad guy, that's incredible. Also, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's a number. Who cares?
It's going to matter to WWE. I'm going to tell you that.
I mean,
in a lot of ways, I understand what you're saying. I get it. There are some positives to that in terms of character building and all that kind of stuff. But for WWE, the family company,
we're changing. We're no longer PG-13. We are now we're about to be in the Netflix era. We don't care about that stuff anymore.
Okay. I have a feeling they're going to care about that, but we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
All right.
No way.
Whatever.
Just me. I wouldn't have done it.
They can also just lie about the number. They could have. They could have been like, it's 667 days. Ooh.
They could have. But maybe it was intentional. I don't know. But we'll find out, I suppose, because maybe they'll play it up. I don't know, but we'll find. We'll see.
In the end, though, I'm excited that Sammy gets another championship reign. I think that, he's such a talented dude. The best match of wrestling I've ever seen from WWE was when Shinsuke Nakamura came to NXT, and it was Sami Zayn's last match in NXT. That was the best match of wrestling I've ever seen. The crowd was so hot, and they both put on such a good show, and Sammy lost that match. And he's such a good, talented dude, knows the score, he loses to anybody that the business tells him to, beats anybody that the business tells him to. You can't ask for a better representative of the company.
Yeah. Boy, you're taking me way back to the Kevin Steen El Generico days in Ring of Honor. Now
Sammy did that. Sammy brought out his top rope knee to the forehead brainbuster move that we haven't seen in WWE as the lead up to his finisher. So that was all on Sammy.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll discuss that little last fiasco, that craziness, as The Rock and Roman dashed Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Reuben Bresler along for the ride. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Sherry Harris, owner of Life Source Water. Our salt-free systems filter water from every tap in your home, unlike softeners, which add sodium to your water without filtering it. With a Life Source system, there is never any regular maintenance, filters to change, or salt to buy. We build, install, and stand behind every single system, and we always will. Call us at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com.
Taste and feel the difference. Life Source Water Systems.
Warranty limitations apply.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free. Show your pharmacist your digital card and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll, so you can get back to doing what makes you happy.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a pregnancy risk assessment monitoring system survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel. If you'll be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's wrap up hour #1 of the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. WrestleMania weekend. It's Super Bowl time for everybody around here. I'm Mark Hoke, Reuben Bresler.
What's up?
Mi amigo.
How you doing?
That's all you got?
That's it.
Okay,
that's all I need. That's my catchphrase. How you doing?
Wow. How you doing? All right.
I mean, I can work harder on it. I can say, my name is Reuben Bresler.
I think it
No,
needs.
I don't think it works. It's not
Yeah,
as good as Paul's. Not as.
Yeah. Let's work on that just a
I
little
got
bit
it. Yeah,
more.
we'll clean it up in post. It'll be fine.
Fine. Last match of the night last night, of course, was the main event. The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, the world heavyweight champion, for the right to either have Cody and Roman one-on-one or the bloodline rules. Anything goes. And, well, pretty much anything went last night.
Right.
Match gets rolling, and Rock threatens referee Chad Patton early in the match. No count out or bleepity bleep. You're fired. And the match itself was almost 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Plus introductions was another 15. So we're talking a good hour for this crazy match. And, it's funny. I was reading my good friend Doc Mueller's reviews and said this one dragged out a little too long.
I agree.
And
little too long. I love the intros. The intros were really good, especially Rock's. Rock's intro was incredible. I also liked Seth's intro quite a bit. Everybody had a good intro.
Yeah.
Like there's no Cody and Roman and Paul had, delivered their solid performance. There is something lost in Cody's intro when you're in an open air stadium. Even though you have 72,000 people there in Philly, the opening to the sky really lessens the impact of the crowd going whoa during his intro, I found.
Interesting. Hadn't thought of that. So, of course, this match just all over the place. Cody and Seth just taking their best shots the whole time, and they just couldn't pull it off. And I think that was the point of this.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that maybe the match went on so long, other than just giving the people time to see The Rock, was they did everything. I mean, there's double pedigrees. Roman spears The Rock. And no matter what, they couldn't win.
Yeah.
They just couldn't win. And I think what they were trying to do was tell the story is no matter what you do, you're not beating him tomorrow.
Yeah.
No matter what. And so that's where I think they were setting the table for tomorrow. Your thoughts on that, Reuben?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. This is good storytelling, right? We're telling part A. We need at the act break, at the intermission of the play, we need everything to be lost. We need to be in the doldrums, down in the dumps. We've got nowhere to go but up from here. And that's what we told last night. It's a great 2-act story that we're telling with WrestleMania, as if we were telling it in the Globe Theater in the 1600s. It's really excellent work that they did. I was really impressed by how good in the ring The Rock was. He's not done anything in the ring in a real long time, and he looked ready. He looked spry. He looked, able to come back and put in that solid 45 minutes that you need. He had the charisma. He had the step, the pep in his step. Loved everything about it. Roman and Rock both were just enormous. Like they are just physical specimens, even compared to incredibly in shape guys like Seth and Cody. It was a sight to behold, both of them. The really talented people, everybody putting in great work. We got to get a rock bottom, we got to have that moment of Rock standing center ring. Really excellent job of setting up the Bloodline as the biggest, baddest possible villains. And yeah, I thought they did an excellent job. I agree. I could have had this go. I would have liked 5 more minutes in the Jimmy and Jay fight. I would have liked 5 more minutes in the Damage Control fight, and 10 less minutes in this one. I feel like we didn't need this much, but here we are.
Yep. So that wraps up night 1. We're going to talk about night 2, which will be taking place later this evening. But we also want to talk about CM Punk and all that craziness with that interview with Ariel Helwani. unbelievable. And Tony Khan's going to just fall right into the trap and get back at him. This is going to be something else. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. Just that's pretty much it. That's how it works. And, of course, Vegas Toy Con joined me out there today. Check that out. Go to vegastoycon.com. Nick Nemeth is staying out there later on today. We'll be right back. Stick around for hour 2 coming up. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station, and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
The David Hum bill was just signed into law, recognizing the third week of March as Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week in Nevada. David Hum, known as the original Las Vegas Raider, died of MS in 2018. Now, David's legacy is helping expand access to MS care in his native Nevada. Learn more at clevelandclinic.org/MSweek. That's clevelandclinic.org/MSweek. Sponsored by Cleveland Clinic, Nevada, in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room. I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself.
I was so scared. I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help. I called the Mobile Crisis Response Team, and we met with them that same day. A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the Mobile Crisis Response Team. They met with us that day.
I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com.
This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Citizens Academy Alumni Association, a nonprofit organization separate and apart from the FBI in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association.
The FBI is engaged in a nationwide effort to build public awareness of hate crimes and encourage reporting to law enforcement. Hate crimes include crimes committed on the basis of the victim's perceived or actual race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. Hate crimes are not only an attack on the victim, they are meant to threaten and intimidate an entire community. If you believe you are a victim or a witness of a hate crime, we encourage you to report it to the FBI by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. You may remain anonymous. Again, report suspected hate crimes by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. The FBI works to protect all victims of crimes, regardless of their country of national origin or immigration status. The FBI encourages victims and witnesses of any hate-related incident to report it to law enforcement. This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Division, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Some big campaign cash. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. Former President Trump reeling in a record $50.5 million at a fundraiser last night in Palm Beach.
The Trump campaign says this is the largest fundraising haul in history for a Republican or Democrat. A spokesperson for his team saying it took 3 Democrat presidents to raise $25 million and 1 president to raise over $50 million, Donald J. Trump. The Trump team still has to catch up to the Biden campaign's war chest. The former president and the Republican National Committee raised about $66 million in March with $93 million in cash on hand. The Biden campaign says it raised $90 million in the same time period with $192 million in cash on hand.
And that's Fox's Madeline Rivera. Dozens of people arrested, part of a sex trafficking bust in Southern California.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta revealing 46 people have been arrested for alleged human trafficking, sexual exploitation, and other offenses. This part of a multi-agency effort dubbed Operation Better Pathways, conducted in San Diego and National City, leading to 20 people being rescued, including 7 children. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of California, as well as the county and city attorney's offices, will handle prosecuting the cases. Bonta saying in a statement, human trafficking and sexual exploitation destroy lives, adding this initiative serves as a powerful example of how the implementation of public safety measures can effectively intervene in breaking the cycle of violence and abuse. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
One Powerball player in Oregon winning a $1.3 billion jackpot, ending a winless streak that had stretched more than 3 months. Until the latest drawing, nobody won Powerball's top prize since New Year's Day. That amounted to 41 consecutive drawings without a jackpot winner, tying a streak set twice before. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And let's bring it on in for another hour of pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show. It's WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, let's do it. I think Reuben and I should team up. Who should we take on?
Oh, geez.
Alvarez and Meltzer right now.
Okay,
Should we do
sure.
it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many seats we're filling with that, but it's probably a good matchup.
I'm gonna get stuck taking on Alvarez, aren't I?
Probably.
Great. I'm gonna get.
I mean, I can take some heat from the audience, but I'm gonna need some help in the ring. I'm not.
You're gonna Ricky Morton me, aren't you?
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna get Ricky Morton.
Yeah, I'm more of a Paul Bearer archetype. I'm a good mouthpiece. I'm not gonna do a bunch in the ring though.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Anytime, buddy.
Meltzer's gonna stomp my face in, and then Alvarez is gonna finish me off, and you're just gonna sit there and go,
"Yeah, I'll be eating popcorn off to the side."
My Undertaker is going to get Mark Hoke's corpse. Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Reuben.
Anytime.
Perfect. But we're going to be going over the best in pro wrestling here. All sorts of terrific news and just the excitement of WrestleMania weekend. And once again, don't forget, we want to see you down at the Vegas Toy Con today at the World Market Expo. Sting and Nick Nemeth just added to the show yesterday. So come on down. I'm going to, as soon as the show's over, I'm shutting everything down. I will be back down there as the onstage host. That hosting thing, it's crazy.
It's not the easiest job in the world. I think a lot of people don't understand all of the science and preparation that goes into it. And you do it well. So congrats on that, and have fun.
Yeah, we got to know every guest that comes up there. There's a lot of guests.
You got to be educated. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be on your feet, on your toes. You got to be active listening. It's not just being a teleprompter. You gotta do a lot.
Yeah. So please come on over and say hi. But man, it's your chance to meet Sting. How many more times do you think Sting is coming back to Las Vegas? It's not many.
True. I mean, he's in retirement now, so
yeah. So come on out. We would love to see you today at the Vegas Toy Con. First thing I want to talk about before we hit night 2 coming up of WrestleMania. Oh, Phil Brooks. Sat down with Ariel Helwani for 2 hours of time, and they had a little chat talking about WrestleMania and how he's doing, and pretty much threw AEW and Tony Khan and Jack Perry and Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks completely under a double-decker bus that was given PIM particles and blown up to the size of a asteroid and just ran everybody over. It was pretty epic. I'll give him that. But a lot of comments, talking about what he could, I suppose, about what happened with Jack Perry, about how he was just not happy with AEW, said that it wasn't a business, they're not trying to make money, just really running everybody through the coals. And it was, a lot of people celebrated that interview, saying, look, AEW is a trash company. I mean, Tony Khan, nice guy, but doesn't know how to handle things. Just said that Jack Perry was a complete jerk about the whole thing that happened with that fight that happened at All In, and explained the circumstances. How much of those clips, at least, Reuben, did you get to see? And what did you think of that whole interview with Ariel?
Yeah, I saw the clips. I didn't see the full interview. It pops up on my TikTok feed quite a bit. When you have CM Punk on Ariel Helwani's show, this is what you're going to get, which is great. I love that. We're in an era where the avenues to deliver information are vast and varied, and that fits right in with how CM Punk wants to do business, and that's fine. I think that it's a little bit like a kiss and tell. It's a little bit like, maybe you should be a little nicer to your ex, but some people aren't, and that's okay. And it's always entertaining to see. I think that CM Punk, he leaves a trail of bodies behind wherever he goes, WWE included. So he's not the most loving partner to be in the wrestling business. Every time he exits a place, he's blames everybody but himself. So he's not the greatest messenger. And I also tend to disagree with his message that AEW is a trash company. I think that AEW, like other wrestling promotions that have to go up against the WWE in its current form, or at least in its dominant form, anytime any promotion has become the second biggest wrestling promotion, it's had struggles and it's had difficulties, and it's tried to do things different, and it's tried to iterate on the business. And Tony Khan is a huge wrestling fan. He loves the business. I think that it's I think I disagree more with CM Punk than I agree with him, but that doesn't mean that this isn't an entertaining interview. And speaking of great hosts, Ariel Helwani is able to get some of the most natural reactions out of people, particularly as it pertains to, taking shots and starting drama. So entertaining interview, but ultimately nothing I didn't expect from this combination of gents.
Yeah. And look, I got to meet him briefly, and I was at the Cauliflower Alley Club speech that he made. And, I see a lot of what agree with a lot of what you're saying. He's someone that loves the business.
Yeah.
And there's no question about it. I mean, he loves professional wrestling with all of his heart. And I would never question that. He's from the old school. I mean, the real old school. I mean, this man was driving around Harley race. He told that story and I just sat there and I was like, wow, man, taking care of Harley, puking in his car and all that stuff. I mean, but you got to remember the people that influenced him. The big one is Harley Race, quite legitimately one of the two toughest men to ever do this in an era where, when you were walking out of a building, you were hoping to get to your car and nobody pulled a gun on you.
Right.
Or tried to beat the hell out of you. And so it's a different time. And when you're talking about this whole thing that happened with Jack Perry, said Tony, go take care as well. If you might not like how I take care of it. So they go and have a conversation and Phil's talking to Jack and he just says, well, you know what? This isn't going anywhere. And I put him in a choke. I would love to put some time to put a coworker into a chokehold. Take some big fat obnoxious guy, who jumps in and steals interviews away or whatever, or gets in my camera angle and say, you know what, you're a jerk. And, put the forearms around his neck. That would be great. But I can't do that. I can't do that. And the same thing with the fight that happened at All Out. That situation, everyone was to blame on that. I have said that from the start. He shouldn't have said the things that he said at the scrum. Tony should have stopped him. And the Bucks and Kenny shouldn't have gone into that locker room. Should have never done it. Everyone failed in that situation. And the talking about splitting them up after that, Tony was wrong on that. I do agree with him there. Tony was wrong. As someone who's managed businesses before, you can't just keep putting people on separate shifts for a while because eventually they have to work together. You're not going to be able to put the Young Bucks on one side of the building and Punk on the other at a pay-per-view and hope to God nothing's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. Something's going to happen. So, that was a bad idea. I agree with him on that. He was just trying to keep the peace, but this was a very unique situation. So some of the things that he said, I get, but some of it, man, you got to take a little responsibility. You got to take some responsibility for yourself. And I think that sometimes he's not real good at that. And
it's hard. He's very clearly talented and smart and cares and caring. And, I wish that everybody in the business cared as much as CM Punk does. Absolutely. Very clearly. But if we had any more CM Punks, if everybody acted like him, this business wouldn't exist. You got to be a little nicer.
Yeah, we'd be back in the 70s again.
It's
70s style locker room where it was,
where no one likes each other and we're feuding with everyone at all times.
Yeah, I mean the boys were, the boys were the boys, and you just it's you can't have that style of settling things anymore. It just doesn't work. Apparently he's doing okay here in WWE. Everybody's saying everything's cool. He's
good,
and great. I'm happy for it. You just wonder if a shoe's going to drop at some point.
Sure. I hope not. I think that he's so clever. He's so talented. He's so funny and charismatic. I think that as long as he's in the business, as long as he's getting fed, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. You just wonder when sometimes, some point, somebody makes him mad. Sure. That's why I would be a little bit nervous. But yeah, it was pretty fascinating. But of course, Tony Khan has decided after this massive public embarrassment, because Tony does take some things personally sometimes, as apparently, just about everybody seems to love working for the guy. And by the way, I give him credit as much as I don't like people losing jobs. He did make some for the first time, he made some releases of people that were still under contract. If you didn't see that this week, he did let a few people go. On Dynamite, the closed circuit footage from the fight at All In, where, of course, he said he was fearing for his life, is going to be released on Dynamite.
Fun.
So we're going to see this closed circuit footage of what happened with CM Punk, Jack Perry, and whatever else.
Wow.
Do you
what
think,
a work.
Reuben, do you think this is a good idea to release this footage?
Hell yeah, that sounds great. Hey, listen, what do we want? We want eyeballs. What do we get? Drama. There's no such thing as bad press. If this is anything short of a double homicide on camera, this is a good move, right? No matter who comes out, no matter who comes out looking good, this is a good move for the business, for his business, in my opinion.
I'm torn on it.
It's tough. That's a tough one. That's a tough needle to thread if there's anything remotely bad on this tape. But if they're releasing it, it can't be too spicy. There's going to be a shoving match and a shouting match, and that's going to be about it.
And a chokehold.
And a chokehold, sure.
And something, I mean, there's something else too, because somehow Tony got involved in this.
Sure.
Because, look, people have been making fun of him for saying that he feared for his life. I mean, that was one that Jim Cornette and a lot of people really gave him flack for.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people who are giving him flack have never been in the same room as a professional athlete. Like, they're enormous and dangerous and could kill you with their bare hands. Like, calm down. Everybody needs to chill.
Yeah. So this will be fascinating to see this whole thing play out. And, you know, I like I said, the curiosity factor in me says, yeah, let's see it. The professional in me says, man, let it go. You know, just let it go.
There's
let
some
this
stuff
die.
There's some stuff that you should just be like, all right, this is water under the bridge, right? There's some stuff that's like, all right, we handled this. This is internal handling of this business. Let's move on.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that people say about Tony is that he's reactionary, you know, he's emotional, and I think this is going to play into it a little bit. That, you know, it's oh yeah, you're going to say it. Well, watch this, you know, and it's I don't know if that helps him out by saying, oh yeah, you're gonna say this about me. Well, watch what I'm going to do to you, you know. And you know, we had so much of that with Vince McMahon, where people, you know, there was so much vindictiveness with Vince, though it wasn't at least knowingly public. Now, there were things that would happen on camera where, you know, scripts would get changed, you know, like the Ashley Massaro thing is one that just comes to mind right off the bat, for example, you know, where he turned her down or she turned him down. So he embarrassed her on camera. But I don't know. I kind of wish Tony would just, in my heart of hearts, would just let this go.
Yeah.
I really do. You know, why play it? Just stay professional and just say, you know what? He said what he said. It's done. You know, this was back in August. Who cares? You know, Phil's Phil. You know, there's a reason he's not here, and we're done. We're done. You know, we're moving on. Our company's doing well. You know, we're selling. We've already got 45,000 tickets sold for Wembley Stadium in August, and we go back there. We're not gonna have to worry about having you know, Phil Brooks drama or anything like that. We're gonna have an awesome show. We've got a great pay-per-view coming up. Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe are gonna wrestle for World Championship in St. Louis. Get ready, and boom, you're done. You're done.
Right.
Now, and seeing this is the thing too, is now you've got a pay-per-view coming up in in 2 weeks. And what's everybody going to be talking about? They're going to be talking about a fight that happened half a year ago.
Yeah, there is some amount of the Streisand effect here where it's just an interview with Ariel Helwani. Like it's not 60 minutes. It's not a State of the Union, you know? Like, we can let it go.
Yeah. So, but we get some interesting TV coming up.
Sure. And maybe that drives more eyeballs to the business.
Yep.
That's
Or
ultimately all it's about. Ultimately, is all you want is more eyeballs.
Yeah, maybe Jack Perry will come strutting back in the door, take a little time up from Japan, and
okay.
Maybe he'll come maybe
we
he'll
can
come
hope.
choke somebody out. He
That's
was a
right.
pillar, Bring his new stable from Japan in and say hi. But we're gonna say goodbye for just a little bit, not for too long, because I know everybody's dying for more pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, that Odyssey app. And once again, we are live streaming on YouTube and Facebook as well. And we are going to brace ourselves for night 2 of WrestleMania. Everybody got their storybooks ready to go, because Cody's going to try and write that last chapter. But will he? Or were we going to get the twist of a lifetime? Stick around. We'll be right back.
Listen to the Texas Corners Bible Church every Saturday night at 7 p.m. and Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
Dear Plugged In, you in on this? Toyota's versatile SUVs roll up their sleeves and take on tough jobs. Dress up for a night out, or haul your family and friends with their spacious interiors. And they're available with some real sweet tech. Want a hybrid SUV? Oh yeah, they got those too. All with a slew of standard features so you won't break the bank. Get the juice at Toyota.com, folks.
Visit your Southern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
As a Nevada high school student, you can have your voice heard, create lasting impact through service projects, and encourage volunteerism among your friends. Submit an application to join the Nevada Volunteers Youth Council and gain leadership skills, project management experience, and serve your community at a local nonprofit. Youth Council members represent high schools across Nevada. Together, your actions will drive positive change with creative, unique, and inclusive solutions. Apply for the Nevada Volunteers Youth Council today. Application deadline is April 19th, 2024. For more information, go to nevadavolunteers.org. That's nevadavolunteers.org. Join a network of young adults making a difference. Join the Nevada Volunteers Youth Council. This message sponsored by Nevada Volunteers, funded by a grant from AmeriCorps, and aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you shopping for healthcare coverage for a small business? Whether you're renewing a plan or shopping for a new one, the Vegas Chamber Health Plan, backed by Anthem, has many of the advantages usually reserved for a larger organization, like access to care across Nevada at lower cost. Lock in quality healthcare at budget-friendly prices through July 2024. Go to vegaschamber.com/anthem. Brought to you by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Odyssey, we help protect this planet we all share through our One Thing sustainability initiatives. We donate $1 million of media every year to local environmental nonprofit organizations. And this month, our Odyssey teams will be out in our local communities cleaning up, planting trees, and more. When we each do one thing, it becomes 100, 1,000, a million things for our planet. What's your one thing? For more, download the free Odyssey app or go to odyssey.com/onething.
Tune in to Real Estate Live with the Real Estate Guys, Aaron and Jacob Taylor, every Saturday at 3 p.m. on 101.5.
This week's guest is James Jensen with the LV Aviators.
The Real Estate Guy.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, let's keep this rolling. The bell rang. That means we're back in action. Another round of terrific pro wrestling news and entertainment. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Reuben Bresler cracking his knucks.
That's right. I'm
Getting
here.
ready to roll. And
Get some ASMR on the radio for you folks.
Nice. Stick around, everybody. We're going to keep this going as we take a look at night 2 coming up here at WrestleMania, the Philadelphia edition, the XL edition. I don't know if it's extra large. It's just, it's WrestleMania.
Right. That's just how Roman numerals work.
Yeah. It's
Roman numerals.
Ah.
See, because there aren't Cody numerals. All right, that's enough. I've pulled. That's too much.
Wow, that wasn't bad.
It was all right.
I give you 2 Hoke points.
I'm still surprised they never used the line "all roads lead to Roman."
Okay.
In promoting this rivalry, like it's right there.
It was. So, I think maybe it's too cheesy for him. Maybe.
Well, I'm a cheesy gent, so
yeah, it's all good. All right, so night 2, we've got Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre for Seth's World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, still looming in the distance is Damian Priest with his Money in the Bank case.
Mm-hmm.
He technically doesn't have to cash it in. I guess he's still got a couple of months if he wants to.
Right. He can wait till SummerSlam. Is that right?
He's got till July, I think.
Yeah.
So a little bit of time. But I tell you what, if you weren't going to cash in after he got the hell beat out of him for 45 minutes last night,
right?
What you were waiting for.
Yeah, exactly.
But this match tonight, it could be Drew's big moment. Of course, he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania a few years ago for the Universal Championship, but with no fans. This could be the big moment Drew gets. We could see a cash in.
Mm-hmm.
Could see Seth hold on.
Sure.
What happens tonight, Reuben?
This one is the hardest one to predict of the night by far for me. Of the weekend, honestly, for me. I could see any of the 3 guys walking out of WrestleMania with the belt. On the one hand, it is scheduled to happen first in the night, which to me, my prognostication brain says that means Seth retains, because you don't start out the night rocking the boat that heavy, in my opinion. Seth is great as a champion. He's super charismatic. He's doing what he can with the belt, right? He's keeping it relevant. He's making it exciting. He's the workhorse champion. He's doing, and the company loves him for it. By the same token, we love Drew. Drew's got this new heel thing. I love heel Drew. He's amazing. You want to give him his flowers too. You want to make sure that he's on the top. I love this new rivalry that he's got, sort of a 3-way rivalry with CM Punk also.
Who's on commentary, by the way, forgot to mention that.
Incredible. Perfect. You've got such a cool dynamic with this belt of, it's not a rivalry, it's many rivalries all simultaneously happening. And maybe Seth and Becky want to go on a little bit of a break. Maybe they want to go have vacation and raise their kids for a little bit. You know what I mean? So if they both lose at their championship matches, that gives them a little bit of a time off, right? Gives them a little bit of a reset. And we've got Damian Priest, who's still sitting there with his Money in the Bank. One of these days, you got to cash that in. And if not at WrestleMania, like if you want a WrestleMania moment, I mean, cashing it in at some other pay-per-view is cool. Cashing it in a dark match is hilarious. But come on, like cash it in at WrestleMania. That's the time to do it. So this one is impossible to predict for me. I think that all 3 scenarios are equally likely. I'm
going to say Drew wins the match. Damian cashes in.
Okay.
I think Punk gets in, beats the heck out of him after Drew. And maybe Punk gets involved with Judgment Day somehow too. That could be kind of fun. But
Punk in a faction? I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? But I will.
Yeah. I think all the options are equally likely. This one's the one that is by far the hardest to predict for me.
Yeah. So I will take 2 new champions tonight, Drew and Damian Priest. And Seth Rollins goes and finds a new tailor. If you didn't see that outfit last night.
I love that outfit. That jacket was great.
I'm not going to say it was bad. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But geez, that whatever was growing out of his shoulder, it was purple.
It's good
my
stuff.
color. But yeah, I don't know. The tail was a little long on the gown. We'll just say that. This one, I don't want to take too long on this, but we've got the Pride, which is Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, with B-Fab against the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and the AOP, who has Scarlett and Paul Ellering in their corner. in a 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. This could have been a Poughkeepsie street fight. It was in Poughkeepsie.
Sure.
But the one thing about this is I just don't think either of these teams can afford this loss.
Sure.
You lose this, and man, these teams are kind of trying to fight their way off the bottom of the card. This sucks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lose. So who gets condemned to mid-card hell after this?
I mean, I don't think there's a world where the Pride loses this one. Personally, I think you want to give Bobby Lashley and Montez Ford relevance. Like, if you bury them, then you've definitely lost a lot more than if you bury Karrion Kross and etc. So I think the Pride wins this one.
Triple H is a big Cross guy, and
sure,
I have a feeling that the Final Testament's going to win this. I think Lashley and the Prophets have done enough that they can revive them. But if you bring back the AOP and Cross here, and you just bury them in this match, they're done. It's going to be a near impossible feat to bring them back.
All right.
To any sense of credibility. So I take the Final Testament in this one.
I also don't love that this is a street fight rules match, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I think this is a weird match.
I agree.
Why we're here. This feels like a Raw match. I don't know why this is WrestleMania, but
yeah, I agree. Could have done this at a pay-per-view, but not WrestleMania.
Yeah.
LA Knight, AJ Styles. This should be an awesome match.
Yes.
And I have a feeling our friend AJ is not going to be happy after this one is over.
I agree. But, I AJ, again, another guy who's a worker for the company. He gets a WrestleMania match, but you got to have LA Knight win this match. Really interesting pairing of styles here, no pun intended. AJ is sort of in that Shawn Michaels technical savvy role, and then you've got LA Knight, who's obviously this big brash sort of attitude era rock style fighter. So you've got a really interesting mashup of styles here. But I don't see a world where LA Knight doesn't come out. Yeah.
This night could belong to LA Knight. It's going to be a very interesting night in Philadelphia for LA Knight.
Yeah.
A terrific evening for our buddy Sean. But but the one thing is, I tell you, I think the fans, I don't know, they're the push, and I know he even said something about this, that him going against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, he felt like they may have gone too fast.
Sure.
And because whenever you take those losses, and now he's had 2 Universal title matches that he's been involved in and lost, you start to take the shine off a little bit.
Yeah.
And
that's the price you pay for having Roman retain the belt for that long.
Well, but the one thing that I may have done is, maybe you could have had him win the US title. Maybe you could have done, skated him along a little bit more and given him some different opponents. He had guys like Bobby Lashley and some other ones you could have put him in there against and worked his way up. AJ Styles would have been a good match to have along the way, as opposed to doing, making it look like, an EKG where it's ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And
I could see that. I think that, if you give, like, if you had put LA, if you put LA Knight in the fight against Gunther and given him that belt, maybe that's the way to have gone, right?
Right.
You put him into the shoes of Austin Theory and you let him have a little bit of a reign and a little bit of a tag team and a little bit of a time away from the main spotlight to grow your brand and to, shine up that shine a little bit. I could see that. I think that that's a perfectly reasonable thing to have attempted, but we're here now. We've skyrocketed all the way up to the top. So what do we do now that we're here? I really do think they screwed the pooch with him at Crown Jewel. They sort of fumbled the bag as it pertains to LA Knight, and so he doesn't have the push that he had a year ago, 6 months ago. So I would like for him to get this win just so that he can try to not dip as far on that EKG that you were just recommending.
Yeah, and the other issue with AJ Styles is too, man, he got hurt and he was on a roll. He comes back and now you're pushing him down too. He's been taking losses all over the place, and
sure,
the odds are he's taking another one tonight. So and of course you had him with the Good Brothers, and they're losing all over the place, and so what do you do with AJ Styles after this is all over?
Right,
you've taken one of your best wrestlers in the company, period, and you're kind of sending him down the sliding board on your Chutes and Ladders game.
Sure,
I mean, that's a little rough for him too. This is.
Yeah, it's weird to try to figure out what to do with AJ if he loses this match. It's impossible to figure out what to do with LA if he loses this match.
Yeah. So interesting happenings there with LA Knight and AJ Styles. Now next one coming up, whoever loses. They'll all be okay. But I don't know if KO is going to be the one that's going to walk out with the U.S. title. I hope so. Logan Paul defends his U.S. championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
It's the Weasel, the Viper, and the Snake.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The Weasel, the Viper, and the Snake is very good.
This is going to be a match of betrayals and meanness and nastiness and stabbing each other in the back. I hope this goes. Let this one go an hour. Just give them all the time they need. So who you got on this one, Reuben? How you see this one playing out?
So I've come around. I think LA Knight is going to retain. Not LA Knight. Sorry, Logan Paul. I was still on the previous match. I think Logan Paul retains here. Yeah, with the Prime Energy drink. A couple reasons. One is he's young. He's popular. Randy and KO don't need this match. They don't need this for their resume. I think a WrestleMania win for Logan Paul is huge. And the main reason why I think he wins is I referenced SummerSlam earlier. You know where SummerSlam is this year?
Yes. That's Detroit,
Cleveland,
right?
Ohio.
Oh, Cleveland. That's right. Sorry.
Which is where Logan Paul is from.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
I think you want Logan Paul to be in Cleveland defending his championship. I think that you want, there's so many wrestlers from Ohio. I think you want them as many as you can get, especially Cleveland. The Miz is from Cleveland.
Miz is from Cleveland. Yep.
So, you've got a lot of opportunity here to build a lot of momentum up there on Lake Erie. And I think that you want Logan Paul from Parma, Ohio, where one of my ex-girlfriends is from, to go up there and be able to defend it at SummerSlam. So I think ultimately Logan Paul walks out.
I think he does too. I'd still love to have Kevin Owens get his comeuppance here, but
that'd be great.
Like I said, I think that we're going to have a backstabbing exhibition, and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton's antics will backfire. But those just seem to be getting along okay. That would be a fun tag team.
I agree. Oh, that's fun. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, I like that.
That would be some. Could you see those two going now? Now that we've got those youngins with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller
against KO and Randy Orton in a tag team.
Oh,
that's great.
That
would be real good.
Oh dear God!
Has Randy ever been a part of a tag team?
Yeah, he's done Legacy and some other things. Yeah, he's done a few.
I know he's been in a faction.
Rated RKO would be one.
Oh, that's true.
And he's done it a few times.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be something.
I love that.
Oh man. So that would be the U.S. Championship match. And I'll tell you what, we got 2 to go, and we'll talk about those when we come back from break. I've got Reuben Bresler with me here on the Mark Hoke Show. And just as a reminder, don't forget ToyCon at the World Market Expo Center. Of course, Nick Namath just added to the show, TNA superstar, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. You guys know him.
Also from Cleveland.
He is.
Yeah, Dolph is one of my favorites. I would love He's not coming back, unfortunately, but I would love to see him come back too.
Yeah. So Dolph Ziggler is going to be there. Well, Nick Nemeth is going to be there. And then, of course, the icon Sting is going to be there today. So get your tickets if you haven't got them yet. Head on over. We would love to see you. I'll be the on-stage host over there at the Vegas Toy Con World Market Expo. Just go to vegastoycon.com. Get your tickets right now. Yeah, doors are going to be open in about 20 minutes. And as soon as the show's over, I'm headed over there as well. So you can come up and say hi to me as well. Stick around. We're going to take a look at the last two matches at WrestleMania. Is Bayley. She's not so bad anymore. Going to walk out of WrestleMania with the WWE Women's Championship. We'll ask Reuben, and I might have an opinion too. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The broadcast media and entertainment industry's biggest event is back at the LBCC April 13th through the 17th. If you're a broadcast or live event professional, join us. Explore the NAB Show exhibit floor where you'll discover the newest tech and network with industry colleagues. You'll also hear from the biggest names in media during keynote sessions and educational conferences. Visit nabshow.com to register today. Use promo code LOCAL24 to get a free exhibits pass or save $100 on a conference program.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Join the Vegas Chamber today. Being a member of the Vegas Chamber sends a powerful message of credibility and that your business is connected to a larger community of organizations dedicated to ensuring Nevada is a great place to live, work, and do business. Joining the Vegas Chamber and becoming part of the largest business organization in Nevada has never been easier. Grow your business within your budget. Visit vegaschamber.com and join today. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message, sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Let's do this one more time, shall we? Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show as we wrap up our preview of Night 2 of WrestleMania, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Get ready, everybody. Oh, is Cody going to finish the story? Oh, my God. It's going to be something else tonight. We have one more match we got to hit before we get to that one, though, is Io Sky will be defending her WWE Women's Championship against the formerly Bad Bayley. But she's not so bad anymore. Reuben, does Bayley get her WrestleMania moment and win the Women's Championship?
This one's the second toughest for me. I do think Bayley ultimately wins this match. But it's up in the air, especially if Logan somehow drops it in the previous match. I don't think that they changed the championship hand 3 matches in a row. But I think that this is ultimately Bayley's time to shine. I think this is ultimately when they give her flowers.
She has been taking loss after loss after loss.
Yeah.
And doing just everything they've asked her to do. Of course, coming off that injury a little while ago, too. I think it's Bayley's night. She is going to be one happy camper when she walks out of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And
I think so too. I think that this is she's the Sami Zayn of Night 2. You know, they've asked her to do everything. They've asked her to take a bunch of losses, have a losing record over the last 2 years or something like that, which is crazy considering that, her resume and where she comes from and all that stuff. Sami Zayn lost to Johnny Knoxville, but he's a champ now. Bayley can lose a bunch of matches. She'll be a champ tonight.
Yeah. And it's not to dismiss Io Sky because she is so underrated as a performer. I think people just forget how good she is until you actually watch her match. And then, I mean, and I don't know if it's just because of the language barrier or anything like that it causes a problem with fans connecting with her sometimes, but she is just amazing.
Yeah, I think she's spectacular. She's such a talented, technical wrestler. But yeah, I think it's time for a change.
Yeah, so we can keep that feud going, but tonight is Bayley's night. Bayley. Let's do it. Now, of course, the main event. It is now contested under bloodline rules. Anything goes. Roman Reigns defends the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes. Of course, crushing defeat last year at WrestleMania, even though some of the fans were pretty excited coming out of SoFi about that.
Yeah.
A lot of trash talking. And now the Cody Crybabies. Will we, the Cody Crybabies, be celebrating a victory tonight? I have some ideas, Reuben.
Okay.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Why is everybody acting like that Roman is the only one that can do whatever he wants? Cody can too.
For sure.
Cody can do whatever he wants.
That's right.
And the bloodline isn't the only guy. Roman has his reinforcements, but let me remind everybody of something real quick. I went back through on one of my favorite sites, InternetWrestlingDatabase.com. I got a list. Now, some of these people aren't in WWE anymore. But here's a list of people that Roman has decimated along the way. Braun Strowman, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Edge, Cesaro, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Finn Balor, Big E, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, Brock Lesnar, Xavier Woods, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Goldberg, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, AJ Styles, Logan Paul, LA Knight.
Yeah.
That's a long list of people to piss off.
Yeah. And that's not just people, that's people he's beaten.
Yes.
There's also people he's upset, right? So we had a great moment at the Hall of Fame with Bray Wyatt's family. And let's not forget that the Fiend was where this all started. And we've got Wyatts in or family, we've got Rotundas in Philadelphia. We could see that happen.
Uncle Howdy
could show back up. That's right. The whole Firefly Funhouse is ready to go. Not to mention the fact that the Bloodline is acting like they're the only family in professional wrestling. Come on now. Come on. Let's get real here. You bring up Dusty every other word in every other promo that you do. He's not the only Rhodes that exists.
No.
Right? The Rhodes and the Bloodline are also not the only families that exist. This is a family affair, professional wrestling. Any family is going to be upset. The Von Erichs should be upset. The Ortons should be upset that the Bloodline is acting like they're the only family business in the family business. So they've pissed off a bunch of people. So the Bloodline should be real careful about what they wish for, because it just might come true. And the whole army of people who are, trying to fight for the good guys, the Avengers are coming for Thanos and the rest of the Bloodline.
You know what Rhodes hasn't showed up yet in this whole thing? Brandy.
That would be fun. I would like that.
That name has not come out of their mouths.
Sure.
And that is a smart thing to not mention Brandy. I wouldn't want to make her mad.
Yeah.
But there's another factor here too. There's some people flying around Philadelphia, I would imagine, that probably aren't too happy with The Rock either.
Sure.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe The Undertaker.
Sure.
As you mentioned, this has there could be a whole Avengers Endgame situation here that could pop up. And if Cody was smart, I mean, if this was, if it were me in this situation for real, I'd be calling up everybody I know. And plus I'd be going around the locker room saying, we got to stop this guy.
Yeah.
Enough's enough. So this main event could just be an army of professional wrestlers.
You know who I want
over
to
the link.
You know who I want to show up that has a feud with The Rock?
Yeah. Who?
Vin Diesel.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Vin
I
Diesel?
just thought it was funny. It was a funny thing to say. I don't think that'll actually happen, but it would be very funny if like Vin Diesel and like Rita Moreno showed up.
You get Steve Carell, they get smart.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, who did he star with in The Tooth Fairy?
Let's forget about that.
Kevin Hart shows up. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do that. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that it would be a weird business decision ultimately to not have Cody finish the story at WrestleMania 40. I think that you do all of this build up, you do the 2-act storytelling, you do this long form storytelling, and you put let's not forget they put Cody on the cover of 2K24 also.
Yeah.
And the number of people who've been on 2K24's cover, here's a fun trivia question, who have not held the major title in their career are Billy Gunn and Tori Wilson in the history of the video game.
Wow.
Everyone else has held the biggest possible title that they could hold. And those two shared the cover. Cody's on the cover by himself. So you don't give him the biggest title in the company and you put his face on the biggest video game that your company produces. That doesn't make any sense.
Interesting.
It's a weird business decision to not do it. I will also add, I love Roman. I think he's a great face. I think he's a great wrestler. He looked a little tired last night. He looked a little ragged. And I don't know that that's the strain of his reign, the strain of the media, but he didn't look as young and vibrant as I'm used to him looking. Now, Randy also doesn't look like as young as he was 20 years ago, but he's still out there fighting, so that could be nothing. I want Roman to take a break. I want it to be Cody's time, and so I'm going to go with my heart and say that Cody wins.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if there's some sort of scenario like we just talked about, or if The Rock turns on him.
Sure.
You know,
Also
and
reasonable.
that is a very distinct possibility to set up a possible SummerSlam match between the two of them for the head of the table.
Yeah.
So,
and let's
who
also
knows?
not forget that if Damian doesn't cash in the Money in the Bank, that's still hanging over us by the end of night 2.
God, could you imagine if Cody wins?
Oh, man.
And Damian walks out with the title.
Be still my heart. That's great.
All right. Reuben, I want to thank you for another great show. It is always a pleasure having you working with me. You are a true radio god, my friend.
Hey, Mark, as long as I'm on this show, I am a Mark Hoke guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a Reuben Bresler guy, too. All right. We're wrapping it up. Hey, I'll be headed to the Toy-Con in just a couple of minutes. Come see me over there at the World Market Center. And we will see you guys next week as we'll unwrap WrestleMania. Have a great day, Las Vegas. We'll catch you next time. Have a terrific afternoon.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit Mark Hoke.